Before he was Paul, he was Saul, a man with fire in his eyes and blood on his hands. Not the blood of thieves or traitors, but of those who dared to follow the way. He believed he was doing God's will, but zeal without truth is still blindness. He stood by the coats as Stephen cried out, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." But Saul's heart did not tremble, not yet. With letters in hand and fury in his chest, he rode toward Damascus to hunt, to bind, to destroy. But the hunter didn't know. He was the one being pursued. And suddenly, a light from heaven, brighter than the noonday sun. He fell to the ground, and a voice thundered through the light, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" He opened his eyes, but saw nothing. The man who thought he knew everything was led by the hand, like a child in the dark. 3 days, no sight, no food, no answers, just silence. And in that silence, the first cracks of surrender. Meanwhile, God whispered to a man named Ananias, "Go, lay your hands on Saul." Ananias trembled. "Lord, do you know who this man is?" "Yes, and I know who he will become." Ananias obeyed. He entered the house, laid his hands on Saul, and said, "Brother Saul." Scales fell from his eyes, and for the first time, he truly saw. He rose, was baptized, and without delay, he preached. Jesus is the Son of God. The hunter became the herald. But not everyone believed. Some feared him. Others plotted to kill him. He escaped by night, lowered in a basket through a wall. Great callings often begin in small, hidden exits. Years passed in obscurity. Paul disappeared from the spotlight, not in failure, but in formation. Scripture, prayer, silence. God was building a voice that could shake empires. Then came Antioch, then ships, cities, letters, prisons, beatings, miracles. Everywhere he went, he preached Christ crucified and risen. He was beaten with rods, whipped, stoned, and left for dead, shipwrecked, hated, alone. Yet he wrote, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed." 2 Corinthians 4:8. From prison cells, he wrote about freedom. To churches he loved, he poured out the truth. And those letters still speak, still convicted, still comfortable. At the end, he knew what was coming. Chains, execution, but no fear. Only these words, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." 2 Timothy 4:7. From a murderer to missionaries, from the destroyer to the builder, from fair to be faithful. That's what grace does. It doesn't just forgive the past, it repurposes it. So if you've fallen far, you're not too far gone. Just ask Paul.